If you're looking for a real estate market update for Ozaukee County, you have come to the right place. Welcome. This is Marquez with Keller Williams Realty in Mequon with a market update for September 2019 for Ozaukee County, specifically for Mequon, for Cedarburg, and Port Washington. Because if you break it down by municipalities, you'll see that these markets actually behave quite differently. So if you've been following my videos, then you know that we are currently, and we have been for a few years, in a seller's market, meaning that we have more buyers than we have inventory, causing prices to trend up and homes to sell relatively quickly. This is, of course, now further fueled by the low interest rates. I think the lowest rate that I have seen this week was like 3.75%. Which is interesting. Even if you're not in the market for buying a home, if you have a mortgage that's currently, let's say, 4.5% or higher, you might want to look into refinancing and taking advantage of the low rates that have come down in early fall this year. So prices have gone up all over Ozaukee County this year. We are seeing a median list price increase of 4.2%. That is the asking price from the sellers, 4.2%. Interestingly enough, the actual sales prices have gone up 6.2%. So that speaks for the current market situation that we have and the shortage of inventory that we generally have. Now, if we break it down by the different municipalities, what you will see is that Mequon is a completely different animal. We have about 120 homes for sale on a very stable level over the last few months. That is not only the biggest market of Ozaukee County, but it's also the slowest moving market. So we measure market velocity in month of supplies, and we have 4.5 month worth of supply in Mequon currently. And that is a lot more than we have on average in Ozaukee County, which is like 3.5. And so in the fast-moving markets, we're in the high twos. Part of the reason for that is that Mequon is a rather expensive market. We have 75% of the inventory currently for sale in Mequon over $500,000. So that market is moving a lot slower than the $300,000 to $400,000 or $400,000 to $500,000 segment, if that makes sense. Cedarburg is currently the hottest market in Ozaukee. We have 53 homes for sale. Half of that 50% is over $500,000. So you see here the shift in the price range, and which of course makes the market move very fast. And what's also interesting about Cedarburg, we have a very high ratio of list price to sold price, 101%. So usually we're seeing 97, 98, 96%. So there's a little room for negotiation. In Cedarburg, on average, the negotiation goes up and buyers are paying more than the actual listing price. Of course, you have to take that with a grain of salt because, as we've seen this year in spring and summer, a lot of sellers want to test the market and put the house on the market for an inflated list price. And then it sits on the market and they start discounting it, and they end up getting less in the end than what they originally were looking for. Sometimes a good opportunity for a buyer. Then when we're looking at Port Washington, currently 40 homes for sale, and we have almost 100% of that under $500,000. We're seeing more and more condos coming up in Port Washington. Down at the marina, and we're seeing also a lot more new development this year in Port Washington, new construction on the outskirts of Port. List prices have come down in Port, interestingly, in September over from summer, and sold prices are up, so it's a fairly good market there, and it presents a good opportunity if you're in the market as a buyer. Generally speaking, for all of Ozaukee County, I would say October, November, presenting the best opportunity for you, this year, and probably also reaching forward, because very soon we're going to be in the 2020 spring market, and that's going to come with probably pricing that is a little bit higher than what we've seen in 2019. So whether you're looking to do something this year or next year, I would be happy to look into that with you. And if you have any questions, then feel free and post them below, and I would be happy to answer them for you.